Welcome back to the channel. Had a group here the other day working on some wedge play. Thought I could pass along a couple of those keys. So obviously things that factor into wedges, it can be pretty, there's a lot of pieces that go into that puzzle. Obviously attack angle, where the ball's hitting on the face, the speed, the loft delivered, dynamic loft, how we're getting that energy, the face relative to square or open or closed. All those things are going to factor in to what's going to help us hit good wedge shots. That will lead to the smash. That will lead to our distance control. That will lead to how much speed we need to put in each shot. And that also leads to how we're going to produce that speed and what process we want to go through. So lots of things that you can use to reference to get better at wedge play. Today I'm going to focus mainly on how the face is and how we're going to produce some energy to be able to repeat. Okay, so when I'm set up here, that's about 83 yards to that first flag. When we're looking at wedge play, so obviously I got a range ball here, so it's going to launch slightly higher and spin a little less than normal, but I'm going to get set up in there. Stance width for 80 yards for me, it's probably just over 2 club heads apart. Obviously it depends on where you feel comfortable. Some people might be a little wider. The goal is not to produce max amount of energy. It's more of, can you be consistent on how much energy you're producing. So I go just outside 2 club heads for stance width. And when I'm going back, a really easy way is when I go back, I'm basically maintaining how this lead arm is moving, okay, relative to my chest. So if I do it, I don't really need it to twist down. I don't want it to roll open. I'm trying to just sync it up so it's reaching across my body. You see that face doesn't really change that much. And then I put my trail hand on. So then I bend over a little bit more, do the exact same feeling. The face doesn't change too much. My pressure, so right when I get, say, around my knee, I'm already starting to move back to my front foot, getting the pressure moving back towards the target, and then I can drive up from there. So when I'm looking at face position, we're looking at keeping it relatively calm. There's obviously some range in there. If we start getting too open, it's going to be a little tougher to hit the standard shot. Not impossible, but you're going to have to do some other things if we're going just off the standard. Using the chest, face looks good, and then from there syncing up how early I can move back to my front foot to hit it. So I'm picturing right as I get to my knee, I'm moving back towards the target, and then I can drive through from there, get a nice strike on it. Actually had a bit of bite. So that was 5.8 down, 2 from the inside, around 6,000 spin, launching at 24.9. So pretty standard for this distance for me. That carried 74, went 83. The way I build my wedge, I do it a bit off of what I feel position-wise. It's not actual positions. So obviously there's, you know, relative to the setup, you can do it in a, you know, clock system. You could do it in the actual positions, you know, so I'm actually going to stop here. I picture on the 80 yarder that I'm stopping around my hip, but it always goes a little further than that. But I know that, and that matches how I move. So I think there's some things that you can play around with there. Number 1, get that face in a good spot. Number 2, sequence that transition. For most people, it's a little sooner than they're typically like to move, but that will help you produce a little bit of that stretch move. So club's moving back, I'm moving forward, and then I just let that energy into the ball. Easy to repeat. Hope this helps. Hope this helps you hit those wedges a little bit closer. If you need any more help for your game, check out TommyGolf.com.